Hi, everyone. It's Cheryl. I'm back with Surviving Every Day with Fibro, RA, through Crochet. I hope you are joining me today and not hurting too badly, not feeling too fatigued. Hopefully, the depression is kind of calmed right now and that we're all kind of on that same level of making it through each day. I have finished one pattern that I started later last week because I was watching Creative Grandma, Glenda Winkleman, on YouTube, and she was doing a beautiful flower type Afghan. And I think I showed that to you. And she did it in many colors. And I showed you one with yellow and white and green. And I showed you another one with the red and the darker green that I thought I would do for Christmas. Well, this is my finished project. It is not as big as hers. I didn't do nearly as many rows. I changed how I did the seaming in between. If you can see that, the seaming is done on the top, so it shows, where on hers it's on the back. And I didn't do a single crochet, I did a slip stitch, which left it like a post across there. But I kind of liked the look of it. It meant I had to take it apart about 4 times to get it to do on both sides correctly. And I'm sure I've got at least one block that's in backwards, but I finished that last night and I just really liked doing that. That was a lot of fun for me. It was something I hadn't done. When I do a granny square, I just keep going to it. I don't usually do the small ones and then put them together because of the extra crocheting, etc., that goes with it. But I thought, I like that pattern. I'm going to try it. And so I did. So I think it turned out all right. I think it's very pretty. It's very soft. It is made out of red heart yarn, and it's a Premier Basic is the green that's in this, but the white and the yellow are from Red Heart, and I got them at my local Walmart. So, and then I received this weekend my new Knitcrate. And Glenda is mentioned and honored in this Knitcrate this time because of her beautiful patterns and her talking about Knitcrate for several years. And there she is. And I just think it's so awesome that they have admired her, and because of what she does, it is absolutely unreal. The patterns she's created, the tutorials that she does for free. Some of her patterns are to download cost, but not like buying a whole book of patterns and buying some other people's. It's not that expensive, and it's wonderful because they're beautiful patterns. Well, this time with the Knitcrate inspirations this month, they sent us this beautiful skein. I have 2 of these skeins of the Knit Logic yarns. You see the colors in there? I don't know if you can tell. The colors are orange, yellow, pink, purple, plus the creamy white color. It's a very fine yarn, very, very, very thin. It's like using thread, but it's soft. It's because it's wool, and you can pull it, and it stretches and gives. It just feels amazing against your skin. It doesn't hurt. It does not rough. It's not, like it's going to scratch your face off if you get up against it. You don't sneeze with it. And like I said, most of it is wool, and it's amazing. I love this stuff. And they gave you the book, and if you know how to knit, there will always be knit patterns in here. They'll show you the rest of the yarns, but then you'll have a knit pattern like for the socks. And then you'll have a crochet pattern like for the for the socks on top there, and the beanie and the fingerless gloves there. And they give you your instructions. They tell you how to do it. If you know how to knit, read the knit pattern. The knit pattern is great, and it's wonderful too, because this is the knit pattern right there. The hat and the fingerless gloves, but they fit differently, and the pattern's totally different. So if you like to knit and you're good at it, do it. If you crochet and would like something that isn't extremely hard, usually one of their crochet patterns is easy versus intermediate or experienced for a crocheter. I wanted to do the sock, the crochet sock, but I'm going to admit to you, the knit one, I don't have all the things I would need to do those cable stitches and different things on there. But this one, the crochet sock, looked pretty easy. And it is considered, something for beginners knitting and that kind of thing, or advanced beginner. Well, I guess I'm not advanced very far because I had a hard time once I got started on it. You have to use a very fine hook with this, and they want you to put markers at each end of the beginning of your thing, at the last row, at the bottom, in different colors, 2 that match for the beginning and ending of rows. The other one is to mark another stitch that we did. It's super fine. And it started out with a chain that I thought, because it was a sock, would go into a round and then we would go up it. Well, I'm not sure now how it's going to work. I really kind of got lost on it. And you use a very small needle compared to our hook, compared to what you would use. This is a 2.75 millimeter, which is a C hook. It's very, very tiny. I think you can maybe see that hook, how small that is. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. I'm having trouble following the directions exactly. I'm not sure how it's going to work out. So I kind of put it down and did other things because I was frustrated. I don't want to be frustrated. I want to enjoy this. But I like the pattern. I want to try it. I wanted to do socks for a while. I've done it. I've started them on looms, sock looms to do, and that kind of thing. And that doesn't seem to be that difficult. But I wanted to try one crocheting. And I know I'll figure it out, but right now I just don't feel like arguing with myself over trying to do some of the stitches and following the rows. And it's so fine that it's not going to be as big and the weave on it's going to be tighter than it looks like in the picture. So I decided this today when I first woke up, for about the 5th time last night, I decided for a while I would go back to doing my loom knitting. This is my Afghan loom, and I have been working on it just very little, just once in a while, and this is the Afghan. It is made with a super bulky, it's almost like feeling like terry cloth, super soft, like a bathrobe used to be real soft and nice, and it's very thick. And it's very simple because just winding your yarn a certain way, and it tells you to always do it a certain way, and going back around following these pegs. And then you just start with this little hook here, and you just lift the bottom piece of the material off. And let me find where I stopped on this, because I knew I'd gone quite a ways around on this one and I wasn't sure where I'd started back at. So let me find it. There's a lot of pegs here with this, but that's what makes it interesting. So I must be working my way back around. So here I'm going to take my yarn and I'm going to go behind this peg, loop it around, go behind and loop it around the next few pegs. I already have a top stitch above those right there. So you'll see on these two, there's the blue that I just put on, and there's a purple. I will take the hook, go up underneath the purple, and there's a line, if I could see what I was doing. There is a line that is made in these pegs to help your hook go up straight. And you lift that bottom loop off and put it over the top one. And that's what does your pattern. It's beautiful. It's simple. It's not something that's going to make you feel like you've worked 1,000 years and still not done anything. They're like I showed last week on one of my videos. The smaller looms, the round looms, there are long straight looms that you can make scarves and different things on. And when I'm really tired and when I just don't feel like fighting with a pattern, I can take this and sit and still be creative, still think of what I want to do or what I would like to do with the next time I try something. I just wanted to show you a different way to concentrate. Again, the blue ring, simple. Try it. Try the small ones so you don't have to work as many rounds and as many loops, and see what you can create. They're fun, actually. You don't have to use boxes and boxes of yarn, but please get a probably a bulky 5 or no less than a 4, because if you don't, you will find that it's frustrating because the fine yarns do great on some of the looms, the sock looms and different things like that. But on these, you need something heavier to work with, especially if it's your first time using one of these looms. But they're fun and they're simple. And if you've got the money to spend, buy a knitting machine that you put the yarn in and you turn the handle and it cranks and it goes around and around and it makes your piece of fabric or knitting very quickly that way. In fact, you can do it where it's open, so it's just a straight piece, or you can leave it so it closes and makes a big circle. I enjoy that. I've done that, and I've shown you. That was how I got the body of the silly monkey that I made. And then I knit the arms and the legs and then crocheted the hands and feet onto it and a hat, and just did a chain stitch for the scarf on its neck. And it was fine. My grandkids think he's fine. They like him. They want to know, the others want to know when I'm going to make one for them. But it gives you something to occupy your mind for a while. It's something that you can be successful at. And when you're having a day when nothing seems to be feeling good or going right, you can go home, you can go into your room, you can go into your living room with these. You can just go in, sit down, just begin to follow the instructions that come with these little loom kits, little looms, and create yourself something small. It doesn't have to be big. I've seen ladies making little dolls with them. They're cute and beautiful and simple. Go on YouTube and find their channels about loom knitting, and you'll find all sorts of neat things. Go on the channels if you have a knitting machine and find how to use them and how to work them. I have an adding knitting machine in my room, and I've not even used it yet, but I've read it. I've looked at the book. I know how to use it, but I've been so busy and intrigued with crocheting that I haven't used the large one. My old large one broke, and so I had to order a new one. And this one I got on, I think on eBay or Etsy, one of the two, and it wasn't full price, and I love it. It's great, and they're one of the best looms, or knitting machines, excuse me, that you'll be able to have. It's not cheap, but it's not excessive either, not considering what it can do, what you can create with it, how fast you can create with it. And I think that for a lot of us with these autoimmune issues, we need something that we can be creative with very quickly. So when we set it down after 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes if we're lucky, 20 minutes, oh yes, we have done something, and it looks like we've done something. The hard part is, just trying it out. I understand how it feels to sit up sometimes. That's why looms work well, because I can lay on my bed and I can put the heat pad on my back and shoulders. I can take the loom and set it in front of me, and I can turn put the yarn around and peg the pegs and then lift the stitches over. And I can do that for a while, and it's not a big deal. It's just creative. I like that part about this. I also today received some yarn from, well, I guess I didn't bring it in here. I'm sorry. I thought I had. I received some worsted 8 yarn from Hirschner's, and this is their large skeins of a green color, kind of a sage green. And I was going to show you. I found that the worsted 8 sometimes is a little thicker than what it appears on some of the smaller balls of this, or skeins of this, and I love it. I thought it would be great to continue to do leaves on these Afghans this way. I thought it would be pretty just as its own scarf. I thought it would be pretty to do for, a lot of different projects that I do. And so I'm really excited that it came. I also have some yarn, a crochet kit coming from Premier. Creative Grandma has offered us a challenge of making things with the granny squares. And she had some yarn from Premier that was a multicolor, a yellow and a blue, or a teal blue. And she decided to make this. You can go on YouTube and see it, and you can go on her channel, not just her channel, but on her website, and purchase the pattern for this beautiful pillow she created, which is rainbow and sunshine. And she challenged us to see what we could do with that. So I'm hoping that'll arrive in the next week or so. And I'm trying to figure in my own mind for once. I'm going to try to create my own pattern and try to get the rainbow look that's in my head and the sun look and then the sky around it worked out in my brain to see if I can actually do that. It'll be a challenge for me. But right now, I think I need a challenge. It's the middle of, February. We're still cold and then hot and cold here. And I know up north it's freezing for a lot of you. And you never know whether you're going to get rain, snow, ice, hot, cold, or in between. So much flooding has been going on in so many places, like in Mississippi right now. I just pray for those people because it's awful to lose everything so quickly because of rain and snow that's melting and different things that are happening. But I decided to challenge myself for that reason, because I kind of get caught up in the time between winter ending and spring beginning. And here in the South, we will have high 60s in a couple days, but then it'll be down to only 50 within 24 hours, which means we may have thunderstorms or, severe high winds, different things. And that makes it rough because your body reacts to the low and the high in the atmosphere. And as the barometric pressure changes, the barometer goes up and down. You either hurt or you don't. And you can't tell from 24 hours to 24 hours. And so it kind of gets you in a mood where you just don't want to know if you want to even bother. And I decided if I challenged myself this time to do something different, create my own pattern, which I used to do, I might be happier. I might be more successful. I might feel more like spring is coming, and that the reality of the situation with the pain will kind of lessen as the spring comes in once the pressure quits going up and down so rapidly. And so I'm excited. So I'm going to challenge you. If you crochet, try something new. If you knit, create yourself something simple that you know how to do, but you're going to do it a little bit differently, a little different color, a little more rib stitches, a little more stockinette, a little less this, a little that, cable stitches, whatever it is you want to put in there, create it. For those of you that do art, create it. For those of you that paint, create it. Do something that challenges your mind that is in this fog of the illness, but not only that, in the winter. It's stuck, it stays, it's frustrating, and you just kind of feel like, oh, I can't, I can't, I can't. And when you finally say, I know I can't, I can't, I can. And you finally come to that point where you challenge yourself. Don't hurt yourself. Don't make yourself sick or worse. No, that's not the challenge. The challenge is to challenge yourself to do something in your crafting that you find a little more challenging for you. Not something impossible, because then you'll be depressed, but something a little bit challenging. Make it fun. Right now, I think for me, the challenging is what I'm working at, but also trying to find something that's a little physically challenging right now. If I could get out and walk just a little bit, not much, trust me, my back and my hips aren't going to put up with it, but I would like to be able to challenge myself to do that. I would like to be able to challenge myself to be able to get off the bed and sit in a chair like this for longer than 20 minutes. But I don't want to cause a problem. And so I limit myself. And everybody can say, well, you just give up. No, I haven't given up. I'm bound and determined that I'm going to do what I can do for as long as I can do it. If I end up back in my wheelchair at some point, which I figure I will down the road, then so be it. But I still have other ways of challenging myself. My hands are killing me. I can't open this one any further than that. And I've noticed these fingers are stuck in a position. My wrists are awful, my elbows, but this goes with what I have. For some of you, you understand all that. And I'm glad you do, because I'm talking to all of you that understand, but to all of you that may not get it. I'm not going to let the illness, the autoimmune diseases that have hit my body stop me. Like I said in my first video, I survived polio when I was 6 months old. It left me different than others, but that didn't stop me. And it's not going to stop me now that I'm different. I ask that you find someone who to encourage you every day. I ask that you subscribe to this channel, that you encourage others to, please. If you want to learn to crochet, go to Creative Grandma on YouTube. Go to Bag O' Day. Go to Secret Yarnery, Jada and Stitches, Hooked by Robin. All those offer beginning stitches, and they'll tell you how to do it. And it's very simple to watch and to follow the instructions to start to learn to crochet or to knit. I taught my 2 granddaughters how to do a chain the other day, and my oldest one now is doing more than just the chain. And so I've offered to have them come during the week when they can, some afternoon, and let me help them learn how to do different stitches and make a scarf for themselves for the first time. And I think they're going to be great at it, and they're going to have fun. And so, I just ask that you challenge yourself. Don't be afraid. Yeah, it's going to hurt. But doesn't it hurt already? I mean, my fibro has come to a unfortunate screaming point. But it does. It cycles. And you never know. So if it's going to scream, it's going to have to scream more than just because I'm sitting there. And it is right now. This shoulder and behind it is like, oh, why are you doing this? I'm doing this because I want to challenge us all to not let these illnesses stop us. We know what they can do. We know how far they can go. But come on. Today is today. If you can still lift a spoon, a plastic spoon or a plastic fork, maybe you can still use a crochet hook or one of these hooks to do your looms. Maybe you can sit and do beautiful puzzles I don't know what your gift is, but don't let this stop you. Please. Please don't let this stop you. That's why I pray for you, every one of you that I don't know, and those I hope that I do know that are watching, that I hope will watch or at some point tell others about this channel. And I pray that we all find a way to cope with the things that happen with these unexpected illnesses, life-changing illnesses. And there's so many more than just autoimmune, but autoimmune seems to be one that a lot of people ignore and don't understand. And it's something we don't choose. No way would I have chosen this. But I ask that you just try today. This is the day that the Almighty has given us. And it says, and we will rejoice and be glad in it. And all I ask is that you try to rejoice today in a moment where you smile and you think to yourself, I bet I could do that. Yeah, I could. Or maybe today it's so bad you just want to lay there and say, please, just let it get a little better. Okay? Then tomorrow is going to be your day. And I hope to see you tomorrow. I never know when we're going to have grandkids or other activities that go through our house, but I do want to stay in contact with you. I want you to continue to reach out, to uplift in your life others. Today I listened to Elaine Jackson, the Ninja Life Coach, on her Motivational Monday and on YouTube, and it's very good. And I just think she's awesome to listen to, and it is her calling to talk to people. And so just try her channel, do the Motivational Monday, and the other things will come because she's quite good at what she does. So be blessed. Even if it's just a moment where you can breathe deeply and not hurt, be blessed. Bless someone else today with a call, with a smile, with a thank you. I thank you for watching and being a part of my world now. And I thank you that you allow me to be there with you. So subscribe, hit like, please tell others. I just would love to talk to more people every time I'm on YouTube. So go and have a blessed day, a blessed moment. And know someone understands. Bye.